Hey Sharks, my name is Justin Wang. I'm here today to ask for $500,000 for 1% of my company, LARQ. Have you ever noticed that funky smell coming from your reusable water bottle? I bet you have. And if you're like most people, you do what we call the sniff test. Woo-wee. The average reusable water bottle contains more bacteria colony than your dog bowl or toilet seat. No wonder they stink. And it's no wonder it's so tempting to reach for a single-use plastic water bottle. The result? Over 1 million of these guys are consumed every single minute. And that's no good for your health and even worse for the environment. That's why we invented the LARQ bottle. It's the world's first self-cleaning water bottle that purifies water on the go. With a simple press of a button and in just 60 seconds, the LARQ bottle activates our patented UVC LED technology, PureBiz, to eradicate 99.99% of harmful and odor-causing bacteria, viruses, and mold. The result? Pure water from a pristinely clean bottle. So Sharks, who's thirsty for a great deal?
I just want to be clear I heard you properly. $500,000 for 1%.
That's correct, Robert.
Congratulations. Highest valuation ever requested in the Shark Tank.
Before Robert gets into talking, all right, so, $50 million is a lot to be asking in the tank. Obviously, it's they say it's the highest valuation that's ever been brought to them. When you're talking about cleaning a water bottle, there's so many applications that can fall into, right? Like bringing it to places that don't have access to clean water, right? That to me is like a huge opportunity. And I know we did this pitch a while back, but I wanted to do it again because obviously this has been the most watched video on my channel. So I thought I'd come with fresh eyes, and clearly Justin was on to something, right? And bringing something. I don't quite remember how all this plays out, but he's bringing something that is unique to the table. Now, one thing I will point out, as I pointed out in the original video, is, and some people have kind of confirmed that in the comments about the cap, and the cap's not actually being, because you're putting your lips to it, and that part's not being clean, and also that UV light doesn't necessarily kill bacteria. It just prevents it. It kind of like disorients it to not enable it to reproduce as easily. So there's that effect as well. Some people have said they still clean their water bottle every once in a while, but I will say I have come so close to committing to buy one of these LARQ water bottles at Best Buy several times. The thing that stops me every time is this 25 ounces being the bigger of the two is just not enough. I'll either be drinking this. I think this is a 32 ounce cup, or the LTT store is a 40 ounce. So for me, it's just not big enough. I actually want to do some water bottles for shopsuperjoe.com. So go check out, get your ABCs on your apparel, your books, and your courses over at shopsuperjoe.com.
Normal human being. Tell us why it's
By the way, in all
50
transparency,
million.
I have a couple of these.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Great.
You do?
That is awesome.
I do.
But what's the market opportunity that justifies this?
So it's a huge market. Big water is a real thing. It's a $300 billion market worldwide, of which reusable market is only 7%. It is growing. I tried to swear off of single-use plastic water bottles several years ago. I bought several reusable options, and sure enough, they ended up in the back of the cabinet or my gym bag. They would collect mold. If it sat in my car, it would get stinky.
So it's the self-cleaning part.
It's self-cleaning and purifies.
It looks to me like you have a UV light in the top. Can you explain how this works and what it does?
This is actually an optical system that's designed to reflect the UV light inside. So simply, you press this button, the UV light turns on. My co-founder is a PhD in physics from Caltech. He's engineered this to bounce to optical light throughout the bottle.
So then how many minutes does it take to do that?
We have two modes. Our normal mode is 60 seconds, and then we have a venture mode, which is 3 minutes. So if you want to take it to a developing country, or camping, or you're just somewhere where you don't quite trust the water.
Justin, is it safer than boiling water?
It would be the equivalent of boiling your water for like 20 minutes.
Really?
Wow, that is impressive. Being able to, the 3 minute thing probably is more like the, beating the germs down, kind of bacteria down kind of thing, versus like just the 1 minute disorients it and maybe enables it to get flushed out, by just drinking the little bit of bacteria that's in there versus allowing it to populate and start to get like moldy and stinky and all that. And I totally agree. Swearing off the single-use plastic, I try my best to do that here whenever possible. Sometimes it's not as convenient, especially like for parties and things like that. But I think as people change their habits and get to used to when I go to a barbecue or something, I bring my own cup because I don't want to use a bunch of water bottles because I know I drink a lot of water, especially if it's a hot day. So for me, that's just how I choose to live and have changed my habits. Hopefully more people will do that, and it can make a small impact and small impact and small impact and small impact to hopefully equal something greater than what we do. I do it mostly for convenience, so I'm not drinking a bunch of plastic waters, and I know which bottle's mine. I also want to point out Justin's ability to be confident through the pitch. Look, he came right out. He said, I'm looking for 500,000 for 1%. Boom. All of a sudden, everybody's laughing, and Justin goes straight on in. There might have been a pause there that they edited out, but I feel like if there was a pause, they probably would have played that up because, sharks are laughing at you, at your offer, not with you because you're trying to be funny. The confidence there that you need to bring to the table when you believe in something, when you know something's right, and clearly, they've gotten something right here. Even we're going to get to more information about the business side, but clearly they've gotten it right. And having somebody at Caltech that's gone and become that engineer for you is, ding ding, because that is awesome to have on your side when creating something that maybe Justin wouldn't have the background to be able to accomplish himself.
Competition. Are you the only one that has UV activation and cleaning?
We launched in October of 2018. We were the first one on the market. We have about 10 patents, both utility and design, around this product and other products. But there are copycats out there that we're pursuing potential legal actions for right now.
So Justin, why?
I know I found one from Philips. I think has something that's similar. I don't know if they, Philips is obviously a big brand, has some money, so I don't know if it's that easy to go after, but I don't know if they still exist. It's been a while since I've looked it up.
$50 million.
So we launched this product in 2018, so we've been on the market for a little under 2 years.
Almost 2 years, huh?
Under 2 years. And in our first full year in 2019, we did a little over $5.5 million in sales.
There you go.
In the last 12 months, we've done over $9 million. This year, we're planning on doing $14 million.
What are you going to make on the $14 million?
So we brought on our first outside venture capital round earlier this year in January, and we leaned into growing the business. So this year, we're expecting to lose about $1 million.
Justin, how much did you raise?
6.7.
At what valuation?
At a $31.7 million valuation.
So, Justin, let's talk real business. You've only raised 6.7. How much do you have in the bank?
I have about 6.5.
Okay, so you really haven't had to spend anything,
Good for you.
right?
Yeah.
What did these retail for?
The one you have right there is 95.
I paid 95 for this? Yeah, see?
You didn't
It's
pay it all.
Holy crap!
It's actually not.
Yeah, so $95 like that. So I don't mind the $100 water bottle idea. It's expensive. Clearly, it's not for. It should be for everyone, but it's not for everyone. You're paying for that luxury. But if you use the bottle every single day in and day out, then $95 it really isn't that big of a deal. But again, it goes back to the two sizes they offer. I think the $95 one is only 17 ounces, and they have like $115 or $120 version for, I want to say it's 115, something like that. And to me, the 25 ounce just isn't enough.
It costs you what to make it?
The landed cost is around 40.
You said you have
Wow.
a lot of patents.
Yeah.
What are those other products you already have?
Some of those patents just cover some other applications, but some of them do apply to the new product. This is the LARQ pitcher, which is our first foray into the home. Let me do that real quick. And while that's going, I'll show you a video of how that works. Traditional water pitchers use a filter. And the biggest problem is that they only trap contaminants, where they could quickly accumulate and multiply and actually reverse contaminate your water.
Why do they reverse contaminate?
Because the contaminants are being trapped and collected there, and as germs are growing there, it's a wet, porous environment that's dark. So imagine all the things that could be growing there. So we take a two-step approach. The first step, you see it go through, and it captures things like lead, cadmium, mercury. In the second step, you simply press this button, and it'll purify the water that's gone through. And as you can see, that is a clear water that we pour blue water in that's
So
contaminated.
it's clear water, but is anybody else doing this?
No one's doing this.
And I don't know for sure, but the understanding of the UV light doesn't necessarily, like from what I've seen in the comments, doesn't necessarily blast it and destroy it so much as it disorients it, enables it to not be able to reproduce. So you're maybe it's destroying some, but not all. It's not enabling it to reproduce, and then it doesn't allow it to become moldy.
Planet don't have access to clean water,
Nope.
and 1.5 million don't have access to electricity. So
Nope.
I don't think any of those people are getting this bottle right now because they don't have $95.
1% of all our proceeds go to our charity partner, 1% for the planet, Charity Water, well aware, where we build wells in Africa.
1% of profits?
1% of revenue we pledge.
Revenue.
Yeah.
Gross revenue.
Gross revenue.
Okay.
pledge.
1%.
All right, so-
That is impressive off top line. I mean, you're committed. I get it.
I am
That
committed,
is
yeah.
important. Damon was going to stick a skewer through you.
No, I might still, but I want to just lay it out where I am, okay?
Well, real quick before Damon gets in there, the I go back to, he said $40 landed for the smaller of the two bottles. I mean, they sell it for $95 at Best Buy. Where are they making the profit margin when they sell it to Best Buy? Unless maybe they're doing consignment for the bottles, but I'm not sure how they're able
We're
to
at a
do
time
that.
when people are really angry. They're looking for hope. And when I signed up to this platform, the platform didn't start off as the wealthy helping the wealthy with 6.5 million in the bank. I just could not do this because I just think that I'm here for a different reason. I think this is crazy. I'll let the other sharks discuss it, but I'm out.
I also come from a background where I didn't have a lot. It's unfortunate you won't take that journey with me, but I respect what you're saying.
So let me take a shot at it. I support a charity called One Drop, making sure everybody can drink fresh water around the world. It's something I get behind. Love to be involved in this, but I'm not doing it for 1%. I bring too much value. I've never done a deal for 1% for obvious reasons. I'll do it for 4%. I don't care how you structure it, advisory shares, whatever.
So you want him to do it at almost 1/3 of his
I
last
understand.
round.
I didn't say you would like it, Mark, or you would. I'm just telling you what I would do.
Is there other offers out there? Or Yeah.
To give you $500,000 for 1%, I feel like I'm not making anything.
the category that we're in is gigantic. It's a $300 billion industry, and it's so ripe for disruption and so ripe for innovation. I think for the
Honestly,
category, but
here,
I'm willing to take offers and listen to
Make an
counter-
offer.
Make it over, Laurie.
Generally, that's a classic mistake there, talking about how big an industry is.
500,000 for 5%.
Wow.
You keep on going backwards, Justin.
Justin, the problem with 1% is you're priced for perfection. And yes, I would love to own 1% of Apple, and I would love to own 1% of Tesla, but the odds are just so low. To make it easier for your investors, I'll do 500,000 for 3%. We can work out the other 2% from your advisory pool. That's my offer.
There's different platforms for different reasons, right? This is a place where people come where they just need a little bit more fuel. They need a little bit of help. We're not here to evaluate companies that may be $1 billion in sales over a $1 trillion market in 20 years, which is possible. But this is not the place to do it. So for those reasons, I'm out.
Right now, where we're at here, I mean, hopefully, Mr. Wonderful will change his offer, because I don't think he's getting. I feel like at that point, if you're not willing to put in $500,000, which is a lot of money, there's no two ways about it. Teaming up, it might be the way to go here, so that you're limiting the amount of risk.
3 offers. What do you want to do?
The offers are all great, but even without the advisory shares, below my last valuation of 32-ish, right? To be honest with you, that's really my bottom line. What about we got you all in for $500,000 each for $1.5 million total at 4.5%. And I will also throw in advisory share of 1% split between the three of you. So for a total, it would be 5.5%.
So 1.5 million for 4.5% stake. I don't know if the 1% is individual or they're going to split that.
Would you consider $1.5 million for 6% and each shark gets 2?
1.5 million, 500,000 each for 6%. What say you?
I could accept the offer with one condition, that the structure in a way that $1.5 million for 4.5%, remaining 1.5% would be advisory shares to be divided among you.
My question is, do I get 2% for my $500,000?
You do.
How long is the vesting period for the advisory?
24 months.
Based on
Okay.
what?
Have a conversation about what we could do with the business, how we could build it together.
Oh,
Maybe it's
God.
QVC, maybe it's
Justin,
developing channels.
let me make it very simple.
Yeah.
It's too complicated. You know what? I'm out because I've worked really hard to get to this point. I don't need you to interview me.
I don't want contingencies on it. Know that we're going to be involved. We don't want to see that just evaporate.
I'm in for 2% for 500,000.
I'll do $1 million for 4%, split between you and Lori.
I'm in.
No advisory. It's just straight.
Advisory would just vest, no contingencies. So $500,000 each for 1.5% plus 0.5% in advisory shares, 2% total.
I don't want advisory shares. I like
Can
just
you
the
do that?
equity.
Look, I want her part of the deal for sure. I see lots of value here. Whatever it takes to get her on board, I want the same. On the
Yeah, I would go 2%,
Okay, well, that's what we got
but
to.
not advisory shares.
Good on Justin for knowing his numbers and knowing what he can and can't, and effectively do. One thing that hasn't come up, is how much of the business he actually owns at this point, like what percentage. That kind of plays a part into whether or not the Sharks have a as good percentage or not, right? Comparatively speaking to who else owns a chunk of the business when it comes to making the decisions and such. But yeah, that's tough. I think there's a tremendous amount of value there working with two Sharks, $1 million, right? $1 million for 4% stake. I think it's worth to pull the trigger.
Up front, because I have to structure something where I'm not going below my last valuation. It's 2% up front.
Done.
Done. All right.
Yes.
Let's light up the world.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that was really good.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
Justin. Good luck.
It feels like I was just in the trenches, but I'm so excited. I know we're going to go places. Woo! I knew they were
Check out his
interested,
website here in a
I
second.
thought that I was going to lose them for a second, but I'm so glad both Lori and Kevin ended up coming across, and having those guys in my corner is just so awesome.
It is awesome. Justin, I would still love to have you come here on the channel. Looks like they got filtration at your fingertips. So they have a built-in all-new LARQ bottle filtered, removes lead, chlorine, VOCs, I don't even know what that is, and more from your tap water. Simply fill, sip, flip, and sip. But it is $38.40, which is a great opportunity. Best picture done, $118. And you got the filter. So, it's great to see, again, recurring revenue being able to come in like that. Just like it's great to see comments down below like Jose Torres, who says, "Honey, be quiet. Super Joe upload a new video." Absolutely love it. Really appreciate you watching. I'll see you in one of these two videos over here. Take care and go be super.